How's it going? My name is Robert. Welcome to GuitarControl.com. Now this is part 3 of the Pentatonic Roadmap series that we've been doing. This one, I'm going to give you guys some kind of like famous pentatonic licks that you've probably heard all the time in lots of different player styles and stuff like that. But it's just nice to kind of see how learning the scales, practicing them, and now we're putting them into use. And you'll get to hopefully have a better, kind of picture painted when you're playing through these than maybe what you initially did. You'll kind of be like, oh, I see where he's getting these notes from. And then you'll just be able to take them and apply them into your own playing, and that's what we all want at the end of the day, right? So if you'd like tabs for this lesson, those are down below in the description, and other than that, let's go ahead and get started. So our first example is going to be utilizing something that we talked about in the second video, just simply 2 strings of the pentatonic scale, but we're going to put a little bit more of a sequence to it. And like I said, this is, you can hear it in like Zakk Wylde's No More Tears solo. That's out of the key of D. We're going to keep it in the key of E that we've been working out of. So we're going to start here out of box number 1. And if you're not real familiar with your pentatonic shapes, make sure you go back to video 1. I have diagrams and all that stuff, that way you can follow along. It's super, super easy, and it'll make a lot of this stuff make more sense if you're not familiar with your scale already. So, to start this one off, we're going to start on the high E string. We're going to play 15-12. Now this is all alternate picked, so we're going to do that twice on the high E. Then you're going to go to the B string and do 15-12. So that again would be... Okay, we're going to shift up and go 17-15 on the high E, then 17-15 on the B. So now we've got... We're going to do one more out of this little pattern. We're going to go 19-17 on the high E string twice. Then you go to the B string, which is 20-17. So altogether we have... Now you could keep going with this one. You could start lower in the scale if you wanted to. Like I said, if you're referring back to your previous notes from the first lesson, you can just kind of do this on all of your strings. So example 2 is another straightforward lick you hear all the time. Players, Jimmy Page, Eddie Van Halen, all these guys use this lick. And it's going to go like this. So let's kind of go about what's happening here. So when I'm doing this first note, I'm bending. So I'm playing... So let's kind of break down what's happening. So this first little section here, I'm playing 14 on the G. But I don't just play it, I bend it. So I'm bending up to 16 on the G. So that would be part of box number 2. So I'm kind of taking a note from box 1 and bending up to box 2. Okay? I'm doing my barring technique that we did in the Jimmy Page licks. 12 on the B and high E. Then I go back to the B string, 15 with my pinky, and I do a pull off back to 12. So you just kind of sit there. It's nice because it's out of box 1, so whatever key you're in, say you're working on the key of A, you could move down to your box 1 out of A. This is a super, super movable lick. I'm trying to think, like Zakk Wylde has it in a lot of his solos as well. So, it's just one of those very, very, very rock-solid, staple pentatonic licks. So that would be example number 2. Okay, now this third lick that we're getting ready to do is a little bit more involved. There's a lot of picking. It's a 6-note sequence, and it's kind of descending. Now, you could flip it around and ascend it if you wanted to. We're just going to focus on the descending out of box number 1, but there's lots of guys who use this. Zakk Wylde, Paul Gilbert, Eric Johnson. He tends to use like a 5s kind of thing. But let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so on to example number 3. So this one is going to be kind of descending in 6s. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one box, just box 1 again. It's kind of the most convenient one to start with before you start applying it to your other boxes. And we're going to be descending 6 notes at a time. So we're going to be going like this. We're going to be going 15-12 on the high E, 15-12 on the B, and 14-12 on the G. Okay, now you're going to simply move back down to the B string and start over again. 15-12, 14-12 on the G, 14-12 on the D. Okay. Now we're going to move back down to the G, which will be 14-12. The D string will be 14-12. And the A string will be 14-12. So I'm sure you're starting to be able to see the patterns that are going into play here. So we have one left. We're going to move back down to the D string, 14-12, to the A, 14-12, and to the low E string, 15-12. So I'm going to do that whole thing real nice and slow for you. Be example number 3. Awesome. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. Like I said, those pentatonic licks that you're used in so many different solos and styles and stuff like that. So make sure you go grab those tabs down below in the description, and I will see you guys next time.